Hey everyone, I'm Noah from the Super Gamer Bros and welcome back to another episode of Greedfall. In the last episode, we tried to help the charlatan escape the city, and that didn't go so well, so we're going to report on that.
Lady de Sade.
I tracked down your man near the Coin Guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say that I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated. He managed to slip through our fingers.
Once again. That man is part eel.
We followed his trail to the Coin Guard Tavern, but he had already escaped. All the same, you have nothing to fear. He will never step foot in Serene again.
We'll eventually catch up with him and deliver the punishment that his crimes deserve. Governor Burhan will be happy to learn that such an amiable legate will soon cross the shores of Tir Fredi. Thank you for your help, Excellency, and allow me to offer you this modest gift for your voyage.
Well, thank you.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lady de Sade.
If he said this was the guard's job, why is it my mission? We've already beat those guys up. Was that the smuggler? Or the captain? Definitely the captain.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's niece. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Nords, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
Miss Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavio and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Theleme's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nords. No one else may enter.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin, by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nord from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land, and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a Captain Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Let's see. Huh?
I've seen a few...
Are you the smuggler?
You
Well, that
snuck
wasn't too
yourself in
bad.
here just to ask me that question? If this is some sort of trick to get me to admit to some crime, you are truly twisted.
You can see for yourself that I'm no naught. Come now. Are you the one I'm looking for?
I'm already locked up. What more do I risk? Yes, I am a smuggler. But I'm not the only one in this city.
I'm searching for a couple fleeing Thélème. They are trying to leave the city discreetly. Have they contacted you?
You certainly can't imagine I'm going to answer you without getting something in exchange. I don't really think of my clients as kin, but I'd never betray any of them for free.
A real saint you are. How about your freedom in exchange for your loyalty? Tell me where I can find them and I'll open this cage.
That works for me. Your two Telemites are hidden in a warehouse behind this very prison. They must be waiting for me. But you might want to be quick about it. If the Nauts get their hands on them, they'll find themselves in this same cage.
Thank you.
Anytime. And these doors? You're gonna open them, right?
I don't have the key. Locked.
I thought we needed him to smuggle. I don't have the key, man. I don't know how to help you.
Come on now. Let me out.
Locked.
You promised. Please.
So where does that leave me on the quests? Oh, who's in there?
Halt! The warehouse is off limits. Move along.
Can't you make an exception?
No, sorry, milady. Move along, please. Now!
Very well, I'm going.
Damnation! We've been found. I told you that the smuggler was not worthy of our trust.
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison. But reveal to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition, then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Thélème so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it will provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of Saint Matthias? The one who returned to Thélème after traveling with his master?
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Tir Freddy, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of Saint Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Tir Freddy is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, St. Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth, which convinced St. Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could. Forget what you have discovered, perhaps?
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
I can't just arrest them. They are scientists.
I don't have the heart to deliver you to the Inquisition, but I cannot do much else to help you. Your smuggler is locked up. Maybe there are others in his band that can help you. Be careful and discreet, and you will survive.
Oh, thank you, my lady. You are a just woman. May the Illuminated protect you.
Thank you for having heard us and helped. You are truly full of kindness.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart.
So I guess I'll keep looking for a smuggler. And if I level up, I'll level up my lock picking. But if the only other way to save that... No, that's the only way. I don't know where the key would be.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any...
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
What will be your official title on Teer Fradee? Or are you just here to keep an eye on us?
Come now, don't be ridiculous. I'm coming in the capacity of official advisor, nothing more. But His Highness has also asked me to report to him on certain strategic... I am therefore required to take note of all events, but also obtain as much knowledge as possible concerning the more... Your help will be extremely valuable to me. I've no longer the legs of an...
It's always a privilege to help, Master. I need to be leaving. Good day,
This seems like the ambassador that's going to get
Lady
unhappy.
de Sardet, to what do I owe the pleasure?
It pains me to inform you that the heretics you seek have fled.
Curse them! How could that possibly have happened?
Alas, these renegades have found protection with the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. I would not have been able to
Whoa,
capture
that
them
is a
without risking
specific lie. Oh my
diplomatic
god.
incident that my uncle would have condemned.
The bridge. I thought as much. Those heretics have turned to them. But I had hoped that you might intervene quickly enough to stop them. It is truly regrettable. We have nothing else to do but pray that the Luminous might shield us from their lies.
I must be going. Farewell.
May the light guide you to...
Okay, I became level 3. Oh, it says next point level 5. I have to get up to level 5. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. So, yeah, we're going to investigate the disappearance of the Not Novice before we do Constantine. I'm afraid of the Constantine one pushing us forward into the next section of story. I also don't know how to smuggle this stuff. I feel like I should not be honest with the Not, because he seems very by the rules type of guy. We're gonna ask the bartender in that other warehouse, and he's gonna be like, "Why are you back?" Are you the cabin boy?
Good
Or
day.
the friend?
Someone told me that you were a friend of Jonas, the young cabin boy who has gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taking the disappearance seriously. What can I do
Yeah,
for
he
you?
was really upset about it.
When did
When
you
was the last time
see
you saw him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
Not that much.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps
Dang,
it up, he'll
he's
be an
younger than
admiral
me.
one day.
I need to be going.
I think that means I might be disguised as a knot. I might be able to free the smuggler. Are you Lauro? It is Lauro.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there.
Maybe he was in debt.
They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left. You get me?
Did
Drop
Jonas seem
that
troubled
because
to you
nobody believes
the
you.
night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mess too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know.
Wait.
I kind of remember his
You're
face
saying we
being
have
there.
cards?
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Thank you, Lauro. I need to be
We're
going.
learning a lot about the captain.
Strange story, this.
Something isn't right here. I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
I'm also suspicious that the friend happened to leave early that night. It's always suspect. Whoa! Oh, we're asking him. We got a lot of questions for this bartender in this game. It says his bow, my Desarde, is female. Corruptions. Creating items from the crafting table. Yeah. I like doing charisma and just being able to talk to people and solve things diplomatically. We'll do the cabin boy.
I am looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
How is business going these days?
I mean, I didn't just talk to him last time.
We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malicor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
Has the Malicor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People are still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Oh, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the New Isle.
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Teer Fradee.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man-trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there.
Sounds like a lot of
Last
hearsay.
night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age? Hair down to his neck, light brown? Blue eyes? Quite the talker?
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's
You already
not the
helped
case.
me.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'll be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Does that mean I have 147?
That's
Man, I
not
am
a small
loaded.
sum. I need to think about my options.
Oh, the father has forgotten to give his daughter her allowance, it would seem.
Wow. Okay.
I need to be off.
Goodbye.
That's the tavern regular. Alright, let's take a look at this broken table.
This furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen worse. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
And there you have it. You'd never guess they were once broken.
Hey, there you have it.
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
Yes, just like new. Or nearly.
That does indeed look like fine work. You know what you're doing.
I would hope. Can you tell me where I can find my cousin now?
Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not.
I'm gonna take my time, sir.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint? Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
Oh, does he have the Malachor?
Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I'm here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift.
Mercenaries,
They
bodyguards,
exchanged
yeah.
words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business.
But
I
2
wouldn't
people
have
have
thought
that
they were
story, so it's got to be
kidnapping him,
true.
If that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Okay, he was
What can you tell
somewhat
me about the
cooperative.
How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Let's go get him.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
I have no idea. That one we are going to find out together, Kurt. Okay, we got time. Okay. So I still have to find a way to smuggle merchandise, I think. Yeah. Okay. That can be done. Always take everything. Until it tells you you can't take any more stuff. That's my strategy. Oh! Some kind of chest. Eh. Dang, I was hoping my XP would go up a bit more. Maybe after,
Might I help you, my lady?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
I just waltzed in. Whoops. I appreciate... Oh, ooh, that thing was in the way. I appreciate that Speak to Kurt is a different button so you don't just accidentally start communications with your companions.
Oh, I know
Because in other
you.
games like
I've
Fallout
seen
that
you at
happens
court.
all the time.
You are Lady de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We are looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure
Oh, I
understand.
forgot.
Don't you
Oh,
see,
wow.
Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it is their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things.
Well,
But it is true that
I'm new
you are
here.
young and inexperienced. It seems that you have been protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Excuse me, madam, but I haven't quite finished. If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave.
Okay.
With respect, my lady.
Oh, so the Nauts are not as cool as we thought they were. Learn more about Naut contracts. Oh man. Another rusted mace. Okay, I can check that out at some point. This is all to me like just like the prologue tutorial until you leave the island. But I really like Serene and learning everything here. Or are we just gonna ask the captain? Oh god.
Madam, you still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without...
I'm not trying to leave.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
Gosh, we have a bunch of things he's going to be upset about.
The mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born.
Oh my
I wouldn't
gosh.
be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Okay, well, you know, I also have another upsetting thing to ask you.
I'm all ears.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. You're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the Port Authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel...
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates, after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you, my quartermaster is a half-crazed bridge troll. He's gotten into his head that a gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tir Fradee.
What?
He's placed
That
guards
is
where our
darn
cargo is
specific.
being held before being loaded. All that is not in the warehouse and noted on the manifest will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurt. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that
We're
case,
going to another
we're going
island.
to
Why
have to
does he
dock the
matter?
manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbor Master's office. Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Sir de Corsilio is a veritable well of scientific knowledge. He could tell us a little.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay, where are we going? We'll ask Mr. Ducilion for information. The Harbor Master's office is also the prison. So I've been in there. Why do we have to clear the warehouse guards? I really bet we could do that without fighting.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side.
Everybody should be getting concerned.
Foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child, due to some contract with the Nauts.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services
What
of
do the Nauts do?
Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son in an agreement signed between my uncle and the Nauts?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nauts as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides.
That's crazy.
For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Okay, the Fontaine family house. And then tamper with the ship's log. So we'll continue that in the next episode. Yeah, so that has been... Well, I want to see if I can go over here because I have this coat on. But anyway, this has been another episode of Greedfall.
If you wore a Naut uniform and you were able to keep your mark hidden from them, they might let us in. Unless we just offered them a drink. These sailors rarely refuse one.
I see where this is headed. If we drop a little soporific in their glasses, the way will be clear. I'll just need to find the proper ingredients. But it's doable.
She's cool.
Do you have any idea how to get in there without being noted?
Let's take a look
Not
around the
picking.
building. We might find a less conspicuous entrance.
Where is the manifest to be found?
I've
Oh my
already been to
gosh,
the
I
port
thought that was me.
authorities. They keep the official documents upstairs.
Isn't that where I just went? I'm a little confused. But at least my uniform keeps me disguised. Is it this one? Not lock picking. Okay, so it's not this building. I'm so glad this outfit works though. Okay, it is the one right in front of me and it is somewhere upstairs. She said. Oh man, I hope it's not locked. Oh, there's something there. All these chests are locked. Move, Kurt. It's a good thing they don't question Kurt either. Aha. It's a good sign. Maybe. Oh, sweet. Wow.
Here is the ship's manifest. We only need to add our merchandise to the list.
I also got the key to the jails. But if I tampered with the ship's log, that means how do you lace a drink with sleeping pills? Anyway, as I was saying, that's where I'm going to end the episode. So if you enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.